Hello, friends. Do you remember when our parents told us to wash behind our ears? Oh, how we'd roll our eyes. Yet here we are, in our golden years, discovering there's wisdom in those simple childhood lessons that goes far beyond what we imagined. Last month, I visited my dear friend Eleanor. At 82, she still tends her garden, hosts bridge nights, and walks 2 miles every morning. When I asked her secret, she smiled that knowing smile, the kind that comes from decades of gathered wisdom, and said, "It's not about the big things, dear. It's the small daily rituals that keep us here longer." What if I told you that something as simple as how you wash certain parts of your body could add years to your life? That behind closed bathroom doors, thousands of seniors are unknowingly missing crucial areas that, when neglected, become gateways for infections and illness? Dr. Williams, who specializes in geriatric medicine, recently shared with me that hospitals admit hundreds of seniors each year with preventable infections, all because of overlooked hygiene in 5 specific body areas. The skin changes after 70, he told me. What worked at 50 doesn't protect you at 75. Stay with me until the end because the 5th body part is one that nearly 90% of seniors neglect, and it's possibly the most important one of all. Plus, I'll share the story of Howard, who at 93 attributes his longevity to a simple 5-minute routine he learned from his father, a man who lived to celebrate his 101st birthday. Body part number 1. Between the toes, as we age, reaching our feet becomes increasingly difficult. Arthritis tightens our joints, extra weight makes bending challenging, and failing eyesight means we might not even notice what's happening down there. But between our toes lies a warm, dark, often moist environment, precisely what fungus and bacteria consider paradise. Margaret, my neighbor of 15 years, couldn't understand why she felt increasingly fatigued. At 75, she expected some slowing down, but this bone-deep weariness seemed excessive. During our weekly coffee date, she confided that her feet had been itching terribly at night. When her daughter finally insisted on looking at her feet, they discovered advanced athlete's foot that had spread to all 10 toes, with small cracks that were allowing bacteria to enter her bloodstream, causing a low-grade infection her body had been fighting for months. Our feet have over 250,000 sweat glands, producing nearly half a pint of moisture daily. After 70, the skin between our toes thins by approximately 20%, creating less protection against invading organisms. The space between toes typically has a pH level that shifts as we age, becoming more alkaline and creating an ideal environment for fungal growth. This isn't just about discomfort. These infections can enter the bloodstream through tiny fissures in the skin, leading to serious conditions like cellulitis or even sepsis. Create a simple toe cleaning ritual using a washcloth draped over your fingers. Sitting on the edge of your tub or a sturdy chair in the shower, gently slide the cloth between each toe, working from the largest spaces to the smallest. For those with mobility issues, inexpensive toe cleaning brushes with long handles are available at most pharmacies. After washing, pat thoroughly dry. Moisture is the enemy. Apply a small amount of antifungal powder, focusing on complete dryness more than medication. Have your toes ever felt itchy at night, making it hard to fall asleep? Share your experience in the comments with toes, and let's compare notes on what's worked for you. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you are here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Body part number 2, behind the ears. That childhood reminder to wash behind your ears holds more wisdom than we realize. This often forgotten area collects oils, dead skin cells, and environmental debris that can harbor harmful bacteria. For hearing aid users, multiplies as these devices can trap moisture and create ideal conditions for infection. James had worn hearing aids for nearly a decade when he noticed a persistent tenderness behind his right ear. At first, he brushed it off as irritation from his device. By the time he mentioned it to his daughter, the area had developed an angry red infection that required prescription antibiotics. The doctor told me it was entirely preventable, James told me over checkers at the senior center. 78 years old, and I'm still learning to wash behind my ears properly. The skin behind our ears contains numerous sebaceous glands that produce oils to keep our skin supple. After 70, these glands often become more active while our skin's natural turnover slows, creating buildup. This area also sits at the junction of facial skin and scalp, collecting differently textured dead cells. The fold behind the ear maintains a higher temperature than exposed skin, nearly 2 degrees warmer, creating a perfect incubator for bacteria. For hearing aid wearers, studies show the area behind the ear can harbor up to 700 times more bacteria than properly cleaned areas. Use a soft washcloth with warm water and mild soap, making small circular motions behind each ear. Pay special attention to the crease where the ear meets the head. For hearing aid users, remove your devices and clean this area morning and night, allowing it to dry completely before reinserting aids. A cotton swab lightly dampened with witch hazel can reach difficult spots, but never insert it into the ear canal. If redness or tenderness develops, a small amount of over-the-counter antifungal cream can help, but see your doctor if symptoms persist. Do you wear hearing aids or glasses that rest behind your ears? What's your comfort routine? Type ears in the comments and share your tips for keeping this area healthy. Body part number 3, under the breasts. For many women over 70, the area under the breast becomes increasingly prone to moisture, irritation, and fungal infections. As breast tissue naturally changes with age and gravity, skin-to-skin contact increases, creating warm, dark folds where moisture becomes trapped, particularly during warmer months or after physical activity. Clara, my swimming companion at the community pool, stopped coming to our Tuesday sessions. When she finally returned a month later, she confided that she'd been battling a persistent rash under her breasts. "I was too embarrassed to tell anyone," she whispered. "By the time I saw my doctor, it had developed into a painful fungal infection that required prescription treatment. The doctor told me this is one of the most common issues she sees in women our age, yet nobody talks about it." The inframammary fold, the technical term for the area under the breasts, creates a microenvironment where skin temperature averages 3–4 degrees higher than surrounding areas. Research shows that after 70, our sweat composition changes, containing less natural antimicrobial components. Additionally, diabetes, common in our age group, increases sugar content in sweat, providing nourishment for yeast and fungi. The skin here is also subject to constant friction, which can break down the protective barrier and allow infections to take hold. Wash under your breast daily with mild, fragrance-free soap and warm water, lifting each breast to clean the entire fold thoroughly. After showering, pat the area completely dry with a soft towel. Don't rub, which can irritate sensitive skin. For additional protection, use a cotton cloth or paper towel to ensure complete dryness. Then apply a thin layer of cornstarch, not talcum powder. Cotton bras provide better ventilation than synthetic materials, and placing a clean cotton handkerchief or thin panty liner in the fold can absorb moisture throughout the day. Consider special moisture-wicking bras designed for comfort and airflow. Ladies, have you found clever ways to keep comfortable and dry throughout the day? Type comfort in the comments and share your wisdom to help others. Body part number 4, belly button. Our navels, those little indentations marking where we began, harbor an astonishing ecosystem of bacteria. For seniors, particularly those with deeper innie belly buttons or who have developed skin folds around the abdomen with age, this area becomes a hidden collector of lint, dead skin cells and moisture that can lead to unpleasant odors and infections. Robert, a retired high school principal and my Tuesday lunch companion, mentioned an unusual smell he couldn't seem to eliminate despite regular showers. His doctor discovered a significant infection in his belly button that had gone unnoticed because Robert couldn't see it easily and had never thought to clean there specifically. "I was stunned," Robert told me. "Something so simple, yet I'd completely overlooked it for years. The relief after proper treatment was immediate, and now it's part of my daily routine." Research from North Carolina State University found that belly buttons contain an average of 67 different bacterial species, a diversity that rivals rainforests. After 70, our skin's acidity changes, weakening one of our natural defenses against harmful bacteria. The navel's unique architecture, either a deep recess or folded skin, creates a protected environment where moisture lingers up to 60% longer than on flat skin surfaces. For diabetics, high blood sugar creates an even more favorable environment for certain bacteria and yeasts, increasing infection risk substantially. Using your index finger wrapped with a soapy washcloth, gently clean inside your navel using a circular motion. For deeper navels, dampen a cotton swab with diluted mild soap. Never insert dry cotton, which can leave behind fibers. Rinse thoroughly by cupping water in your hand and splashing it into the navel, then pat dry with a clean towel. Use a second cotton swab to ensure all moisture is removed. This is crucial. For those with recurring issues, applying a small amount of antifungal cream once weekly can serve as preventative maintenance. Has your belly button ever surprised you with lint or an unexpected odor? Type navel in the comments if you've discovered the importance of this often forgotten spot. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you are here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Body part number 5. Between the fingers, our hands touch countless surfaces daily, collecting bacteria, viruses, and fungi along the way. Yet when washing, most of us focus on our palms and backs of hands, missing the warm, moist spaces between our fingers. Perfect breeding grounds for microorganisms. After 70, the skin between our fingers thins considerably and develops more creases, creating additional hiding places for potential pathogens. Howard, the 93-year-old gentleman I mentioned earlier, credits his father's advice for his remarkable health. Dad lived through the 1918 flu pandemic, Howard told me during our garden club meeting. He lost 2 sisters to it. Afterward, he became meticulous about hand hygiene, especially between the fingers. He lived to 101 without ever experiencing pneumonia or serious flu. Every night at dinner, he'd check our hands, not just for dirt, but to make sure we'd clean between each finger. His rule was simple: the spaces collect what the surfaces miss. The skin between our fingers contains fewer oil glands than our palms, making it naturally drier and more prone to tiny cracks, especially in winter or with frequent hand washing. Harvard Medical School research indicates these microscopic skin breaks can become entry points for pathogens. Additionally, as we age, our skin cells contain less natural moisturizing factor, NMF, reducing our built-in antimicrobial protection. Studies comparing standard hand washing to techniques that specifically clean between fingers show dramatically different bacterial counts. As much as 80% more bacteria remain when finger webs are neglected. When washing your hands, interlace your fingers and rub them together, ensuring soap reaches every crevice. Make this a conscious habit. Count to 10 while specifically washing between each finger. After washing, pat dry gently, paying special attention to these areas. Keep a good hand cream nearby and apply it while your skin is still slightly damp to seal in moisture. For those with arthritis making hand manipulation difficult, consider keeping a bowl of warm, soapy water handy to soak your hands, moving them gently to create friction between the fingers. Do you have a special hand care routine from your younger days that still serves you well? Type hands in the comments and share your timeless wisdom. As we journey through our 7th and 8th decades, these simple daily practices become more than hygiene. They become acts of self-care and self-respect. Eleanor, Howard, Margaret, James, Clara, and Robert, they aren't just stories I've shared today. They're voices of experience, reminding us that wisdom often hides in life's simplest corners. Remember when our mothers told us that cleanliness was next to godliness? Perhaps there was more truth there than we realized. These 5 often overlooked areas, between the toes, behind the ears, under the breasts, inside the belly button, and between the fingers, can truly be gateways to better health when given proper attention. What small ritual might you add to your daily routine after today? Which area surprised you most? Perhaps you have wisdom of your own to contribute, a 6th spot we should all be paying more attention to? If this conversation has brought you value, please consider supporting our channel by subscribing. Each new subscriber reminds me why I started sharing these conversations, because the wisdom we've gathered throughout our lives deserves to be passed along. And if you know someone who might benefit from these simple yet powerful insights, please share this video with them. Next week, we'll talk about the morning routine that cardiologists recommend for heart health after 70. Until then, remember that self-care isn't vanity. It's an act of respect for the body that has carried you through decades of beautiful, challenging, remarkable life.